So what are the things that block us from having that amazing experience with God? Have you ever thought about that? Some people call them veils, veils that separate us, that get in the way between us and the divinity, us and divine, us and love, living in love every day. What are some of these blocks? So the first phase we're going to look at is the blocks that come from our thought process. Hi, I'm David Essel, and I love this topic because it's so important for us to see what might be separating me from experiencing the divinity that I am and the divinity that surrounds me more often. So the very first place we start is our thoughts. So many of us do not feel worthy of experiencing that unbelievable divine love of God. Whether we were raised in a guilt-ridden philosophy that we are sinners and we're not worthy of God's divine protection and love, lots of us buy into that, or we have bought into it in the past. Well, if we buy into it that we're sinners and we're sinners from birth and we're sinners till death, there's a good chance that we're not going to be able to really truly feel the absolute divine love of God as someone who realizes right from the start that, wow, the divine resides within me. Isn't that awesome? I mean, the divine resides all around me and I'm worthy of God's love. So we look at our thought process that separates us from God as a lack of worthiness of God's acceptance and love. The other thing we say is that we may not be worthy of God's forgiveness. So sometimes people will do things in their life and they may have done them when they're younger or when they're middle-aged or they're older, and they'll say, God would never forgive me for that. Well, we've done videos on forgiveness, and in my belief system, God will forgive us for anything we have pure, absolute, 100% repentance for. I really believe that. I don't think there's anything that anyone could ever do in their lifetime that if they sincerely went to God and asked for forgiveness, that God would say no. I just don't believe that. But we have many people that do, and when we wonder what's getting in the way of me feeling the divine and the flow and the love that I want to feel and to give, so much of it is our thought process. We don't feel worthy. We feel like we're sinners. We don't think we could be forgiven. We carry guilt about what we've done. And all of that is such a waste of energy. If we want to strip through all the veils that separate us from God and experience the divine on a regular basis, I believe it must begin with our thought process. We must begin to somehow understand we are worthy of God's forgiveness. We are worthy of God's love. And when we can get to that space of realizing that we are worthy of that existence and that experience with God, the veils start to fall down. And all of a sudden, we react differently to the outside world. We won't take things as personally, comments from other people as personally. We'll look to be of more of assistance to other people because that's what God does. God would be of assistance in all ways possible. So the very first step, and we're going to do a multiple-part series here, but the very first step to removing the blocks between ourselves and God is in our thought process. When we start to realize, and how we get here I'm going to ask you to do is to write it down, is to write down that you are worthy of God's absolute divine love, that you are worthy of God's forgiveness for whatever, and to ask for it in writing. It's like writing a letter to a best friend, but you're writing a letter to God, just saying, I want to remove the blocks that stand between you and I, the veils that stand between you and I'm going to ask for your forgiveness, and I accept your forgiveness today. Let's remove the blocks between you and the divine. Let's remove the unworthiness. Let's move into a worthiness state of mind, and as we do that, our whole life starts to change. But it's up to you, it's up to me to do it on a regular basis. Don't forget to sign up right here on YouTube for all of our videos, and when you have an account, they'll be sent right to your inbox at YouTube. And also, let your friends know that these videos are here. If you know some people that could benefit from this, of how to think about our thought process and how it gets in the way of our experience of God, our experience of love, our experience of the divine, share this video with them. And if I can ever help you in any way whatsoever, email me, talkdavid.com, and I would love to, okay? Have the most divine day. Bye now.